I'm horror author J. Allen Riker. This is my video game channel, Delving the Deep Dark, and today we're talking about my experience using Call of Doom Tarkov weapons against the Doom Eternal 2016 Monsters for Doom monster mod. Wow. Doom mods can sometimes have really long names. First, I want to thank the awesome Potatum for featuring these mods in his videos. His channel is my absolute favorite Doom resource. Second, I used this combination in the Eve Eternity Megawad, a legendary map pack which every Doom fan should play. So you can watch my entire live stream playthrough and check out my unnecessary review of Eve Eternity if you like. Third, find the links to all the mods called out here in the description. Let's talk about Call of Doom Tarkov first. This is my favorite Doom weapons mod, hands down, no close competition. The feel of the weapons is perfection. They have weight, they have beautiful animations, they have great sound effects. Each gun has its own lessons to teach and wisdom to impart. But beyond that, Call of Doom Tarkov adds a layer of weapons management to the already present ammo management of Doom. You can carry 2 pistols and at most 4 weapons. Which are you going to keep? Which are disposable to be tossed aside after you blast through their ammo type? These will change as you progress through the game. The 12-gauge semi-auto tactical shotgun might seem permanent, but could be tossed aside as you pick up a magazine-fed 20-gauge so that you don't have to load the tube one shell at a time. And then you might later go back to 12-gauge when you find a magazine or drum-fed version. Some 9mm submachine guns throw lead fast enough to have a place in your primary gun inventory even in the mid-game. But I always find myself swapping them out if I find the 9mm Glock pistol with the drum, giving me another space in my primary inventory for a different type of ammo. This makes it necessary to cycle through the approximately 100 different guns, or find yourself out of ammo. Sometimes, as a natural-born optimizer, I have to be forced to step outside my comfort zone, and this mod does that, forcing me to enjoy the variety that it offers. In fact, late game, it tends to make me sad that I tend to get locked into at least 3 heavy hitters and might only have 1 slot left for swapping. I always wish I could carry a 5th primary, and yet it's that tension that really makes the mod for me. Despite the fact that it has very few explosive options and that you do have to deal with reloading these weapons, which in the case of a couple of belt-fed LMGs, it takes a humorously long amount of time. This weapon mod does make the game easier, at least for me. I'm not a true Doom Ultraviolence player, but I play on Ultraviolence with Call of Doom Tarkov and still require tougher than vanilla enemies to have any resistance. This isn't a problem at all, because I enjoy playing with different monster mods, and besides that, I always have the enemy multiplier 10.5x mod running in the background to adjust difficulty on the fly. So the question for this episode is, how did Call of Doom Tarkov stand up against the Doom Eternal 2016 Monsters for Doom mod? Doom Eternal 2016 Monsters for Doom. Let's address the elephant in the room of that name first. I think the description on the mod page clears it up. This is a project that I have been working on. I hope you like it. Contains Doom Eternal and some Doom 2016 Monsters for Doom. Includes Doom Eternal base campaign, the Ancient Gods DLC monsters, some Doom 2016 monsters. If you watch my playthrough of Eve Eternity using this monster mod, you'll hear me realize as I'm talking about the monsters that I don't know if this mod is for Doom 4 or Doom Eternal. I've never played either of those games, so I didn't recognize them. I didn't know what the file name meant if I had mistakenly added both names to the file, because I often rename files for my own clarity. Only in going back and finding the original download page did I see that it is actually both Doom 4 and Doom Eternal. Anyway, with that cleared up, this is a great mod to use with modern weapons pack with a higher rate of fire like Call of Doom Tarkov. The monsters react fast. Any hesitation and you're going to get hit, because their projectiles also move very fast. There's almost no hit scan to be found here, but don't think that that makes you safe. The projectiles move so quickly, an imp can blast you no problem, and they pack a real punch. I got absolutely humbled by this monster mod. I think of Project Malice as being on the tougher end of monster mods. It's one of my favorites. I use it all the time, not because I'm good, but because it's a good balance against the Call of Doom Tarkov weapons. I had to turn this monster mod down to mid-level difficulty, and even then ended up save scumming my way through some of the tougher levels of Eve Eternity. And the creatures are so intimidating. Their appearance, yes, definitely, but also the sound effects. Even the basic Marine has a nightmarish roar, and it would make me flinch when it came out of nowhere. Eve Eternity has a few really great jump scares built into it, and this monster pack completely amplified those. For me, there are only a couple of negatives to this monster mod. I hate the snake men. I hate them. And even more so when they're invisible. And they really start to appear a lot in the late game. Swarms of them that are just really hard to hit, and whose projectiles chase you down, even if you're standing atop a platform. Next, there is a monster, a human torso atop spider legs, which I found through research is known in Doom Eternal as the Carcass. It's usually a really fun part of the puzzle in this mod, if found singly or even in pairs, because one of its attacks is to project an energy shield that then stays in place. Maneuvering around the shield to get a shot while also taking advantage of the new temporary bit of cover is a lot of fun. Unfortunately, they make it so that you effectively can't use this monster pack for slaughter maps. In Eve Eternity, there are several, but it was only in the single true slaughter map with like 1,000 enemies that as soon as they appeared, the carcasses completely fenced me in with 12 energy shields. As soon as one of those disappeared, I was instantly hit with a swarm of death. But really, that is it for me as far as negatives for this monster pack. It's by far one of the most fun I've played, with a lot of personality, so that it feels very different and gives you a distinct experience even while giving you the traditional Doom monsters. This for me is right up there with Project Malice. However, I can't say whether it will satisfy Doom 4 or Doom Eternal fans wanting something faithful, as I haven't played either of those games. In conclusion, I think I really lucked out by pitting these two mods against each other right off the bat, though I did have to adjust the difficulty down and start over. The very, very difficult monster mod against the very powerful weapons mod made a peanut butter and chocolate style pairing. I can see myself using this combo to run through a bunch of map packs, especially classic megawads that don't have much in the way of slaughter scenarios. So I highly recommend giving each of these mods a try. Once again, check the video description for links. And check out my live streamed Eve Eternity playthrough if you want to see how the whole thing went down.